Whatever. Boys, let's figure out whether we're pulling for this stick or not. Let's see. Dude, if it's going to tell me some bull, like, oh, you need Silverwolf to play her. Oh, you need Don Hung Il to play her. Maybe we hit the old skip around. Unless she's good with, what's her name? Acheron. Then maybe. Who knows? Maybe she'll go with Acheron or Sam. Who knows?
I don't know if you grew up around theater kids at all, but I did, unfortunately. But I can say with 100% honesty that 69% of them are absolutely insane, and 82.6% of facts you hear on the internet are completely made up. With Sparkle being the premier theater kid, you now have a perfect example of what a red flag looks like. And no, you can't fix her, like your financial security.
Well, it's not really a red flag. Sparkle's kind of like a off orangish flag because she was attempting to copy it from Karumi from Data Live, right? Data Live, right? I believe it's Data Live. So like it was supposed to be red, but then they took the inspiration from Karumi and they said, oh, let's just do an off orange instead, so nobody catches the similarities.
This character is so unhinged that if she was a door, she would fall over. And easily the worst thing about her is that she had to smell like Sampo for a minute. And now she's decided to live in Bronya's skin, except she does her job a little bit better.
Which is just like, dude, is my E2 Bronya really gonna get power crept by Sparkle? Like, genuinely, like if I get Sparkle, is my Bronya just like useless? Even at E2? Why not both? There's two teams? Yeah, but like I already have Ruan Mei. How many supports can I run, bro?
At least for most characters. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to play and build Sparkle, and if you enjoy these videos, make sure to let YouTube know the video doesn't suck by leaving a like down below. Subscribe if you feel like it, and with all that being said, my name is Braxophone, and let's talk about Sparkle.
You know what's insane that I'm gonna break y'all's immersion from? You know that liking and disliking does nothing for a video? It does nothing. Like if you go to a video and you like mass dislike it, it does nothing. If you go to a video and you mass like it, it does nothing. But the only thing it does do is it communicates with the creator what you do and don't like, which is why it is kind of important, right? Because like obviously the content creators will want to know what did my community think, and if the video has, you know, 90% dislikes, well then it's either Enviosity's latest upload or the video really sucks. Who knows?
In every gacha game, at some point, you're gonna get characters that outperform the initial cast of 5 stars. It took almost a year for Bronya to become second best, but it's finally happened. That's the power of a truly insane anime girl. While Bronya has a 100% action forward on her skill with a huge damage bonus for a turn, Sparkle has a skill that gives you 50% action forward with a massive crit damage boost for a turn. This crit bonus is huge and it's higher than Bronya's ultimate. And even though it's not a full 100% advance forward, 50% is still really significant, and you can see her pull teammates up pretty dang far in the action sequence. At first glance, Sparkle does just look straight up worse than Bronya because of the action forward thing, but she does a few things better than Bronya. The first is that she gives more overall stat bonuses. The second is that she keeps them up longer, and the third thing is that she enables attack boots on literally almost every character in the game.
Wait, how the f does she do that? How does she enable attack boots? Okay, explain.
One of her major traces, she extends her crit damage buff until the start of the character's following turn.
Okay.
Meaning that characters that have follow-up attacks that are separate from their turn, like Jingyuan, also can keep the buff. Lenny is eating real good. I don't know what else to say about it. But that's not all I was talking about, because the single best gimmick that Sparkle has is the juice. By nature of this character joining your team, she can actually allow you to hold 2 extra skill points, which allows you to stock up to 7 at a time. Which would be weird if she was just a normal character, but fortunately for us, she's clinically insane. When she uses her ultimate, she recovers 4 skill points for the team. And for those of you who don't know, that makes her go +1 skill points over 3 turns, which basically makes her Bronya, but skill point positive, without having to basic attack at all.
Bro, what the f? Okay, so then how is she not good with Jingliu? Because I'm running out of skill points non-stop whenever I run Bronya Jingliu. Like, how is she not good then? How is she not good?
Which honestly is a little bit of a bummer because it's the best basic attack of the entire game. Even if you do have to basic attack due to SP mismanagement, or in other words, skill issue, you'll still get the full 30 energy you would normally get from her skill because one of her major traces gives 10 more energy per basic attack. Also, her ultimate gives your team a damage bonus called Cypher for 2 turns, which seems small until you factor in her talent, which also gives a damage bonus for skill points spent between Sparkle's turns. Every skill...
What? Bro, that's so broken with Don Hung. That is so broken with Don Hung, bro. What the
skill point you spend gives damage bonus up to 3 stacks and refreshes the turns left on the buff. So it's basically always maxed out unless you just spam basic attacks for a minute. This is actually one of the biggest things that separates Bronya and Sparkle, since Sparkle can actually gain 1 skill point over 3 turns, whereas Bronya needs her signature light cone and Eidolon just to break even. And even then, it's only a chance to actually break even. Having a character that has true action forward every turn is absolutely insane.
How the is it every turn? Can someone explain to me how it's every turn? How does she have action forward every turn? Is it just okay? Wait, was that the skill that action forwards? Oh my god, it was the skill. It was so good I thought it was her alt. Oh my god. Bro, that is insane.
Okay, so now you know about the juice, but do you know about the sauce? Sparkle's skill uptime is every single turn, her talent is basically full uptime as far as the damage bonus goes, and her ultimate lasts for 2 turns. But what if I told you that her ultimate could actually last for 3 turns instead of 2? If you wait until after your DPS's turn has come up, and then use Sparkle's ultimate, your DPS's first turn of Cypher buff won't actually count down, meaning you can always have the damage buff up in a 3-turn Sparkle rotation. That's it. That's all. That's everything. Sparkle's kit is
okay, but she's gonna need some insane stats, right? Like she's gonna need insane stats, right, Shirley?
Unlike both her mental health and the people who play her. What do I mean by that? Well, on top of everything I've said already, her last trace gives your party 15% attack bonus for free. And if you add quantum characters to your team, you get an extra bonus to that attack. So the Mono Quantum Dream is no longer a dream. It's very real, and you should fear for your next pay.
Wait, what the f does that do? Increase all allies attack by 50% when there are 1, 2, 3 quantum allies. Wait, what the f is this? Is this her passive? Holy shit, bro.
Extra bonus to that attack. So the Mono Quantum Dream.
They're gonna make me pull Silver Wolf? Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna vomit, dude.
Is no longer a dream. It's very real, and you should fear for your next pay.
No, yeah, okay, well, hold up. No, I don't need her, because I'll just run Zila, Baronia, Fu Xuan, and Sparkle. And that's probably better. Low key, that's probably better.
Paycheck. Overall, 50% action forward is very strong, and you'll see in the footage that a lot of the time it even pulls my character up next anyways. With all of these buffs and them having such crazy uptime, all you have to do is make sure that your Sparkle has a solid build and she can be crazier than your ex. I'm just kidding, Star Rail players don't date. For her talent priority, go ahead and focus on her skill, her ultimate, her...
Okay. All right. Brax, let's calm down there, buddy. Okay? Hey, listen here. There is nothing wrong with Star Rail players, okay? Let's calm down there, Genshin guy. Okay? Let's calm down. Do not disrespect. First of all, yeah, says you goddamn creep. All right? Let's relax before we shit on the Honkai Star Rail community, okay? The creepiest guy I met is trying to shit talk me for not having girlfriends. Okay, you know what, Brax? You're right. Atsu was right about you, man. Atsu was right.
Her talent, and then her funny kick.
Bro, I love the little... Dude. I love the little dots around her face because I'm so schizophrenic. I like imagining that she's just like a ditto and those are her eyeballs. It looks so funny, bro. It looks so funny to me. I don't know, bro. I love that shit. Me personally. You did not, bro, what?
Sparkle is basically Bronya if I wanted Bronya to break my heart. Having similar kits means similar builds and principles, with the only difference being that Sparkle doesn't actually need specific speed tuning most of the time.
Oh, I can never not see it, man. I can never stop seeing it.
Her best set at the moment is 4-piece Messenger for personal speed and a speed buff to your team. If you don't have 4 pieces though, you can moment is
I can
tuning most of the time.
Oh, I can never not see it, man. I can never stop seeing it.
Her best set at the moment is 4-piece Messenger for personal speed and a speed buff to your team. If you don't have 4 pieces though, you can also go with 2 pieces of the speed set and any other 2 that give defensive stats like HP, defense, and damage reduction. For planar sets, for basically all of the content in the game, going with Broken Keel is going to be amazing for the team crit damage and effect res on Sparkle. With a quantum DPS, you can go with Penacony for damage bonus, since it doesn't really require any specific stats or height or anything. Other sets that work are Sprightly Von Walk and Fleet of the Ageless. For main stats, you're going to want a crit damage body, speed boots, any orb, and an energy regen robe.
So she literally just stole Bronya's relics and artifacts. She just stole them? Wait, don't tell me that but the battle isn't over is good on her too, right? Because if that's the case, bro, my Wait, why is my Bronya low-key bad? Did I swap some shit around? I remember my Bronya being insane. Whoa, what the man? Oh, it's my Ruan Mei who's insane. Damn, my Bronya low-key ass. Why is she so bad? Yes, Bronya's signature Lycon is also good for Sparkle. Nah, I'll just give her Dance Dance Dance. We don't need it.
The more crit damage you have, the more she buffs your team, so that's an absolute must.
That's insane.
Speed boots are also a must-have because the more Sparkle goes, the more you can pull up your DPS. There is no downside at all to having a fast Sparkle. The Orb main stat doesn't really matter. I'd recommend going for a defensive piece like HP or defense, but you mostly just want to prioritize speed, crit damage, and effect res substats. And for the rope, with energy regen, you can get your ultimate every 3 turns. Now, on the topic of speed, she doesn't want to be speed tuned to your DPS. But with that said, she does want to have a very high speed stat. What Sparkle is effectively doing is forcing your DPS forward in the action order, and the faster Sparkle is, the more she advances you forward. Your Sparkle's speed replaces your DPS character's need for speed. You can run attack percent boots on almost every DPS to gain overall damage if Sparkle is on the team, since you can make them act sooner. So what I recommend and what I've tested is going for 160 speed on Sparkle, focusing most of your effort on speed and crit damage substats. With proper investment,
the only thing is does she have speed traces? If she does, then we're fine.
Free-to-play players, especially if you go with a mixed 2 and 2 setup. If you don't believe me, go to my stream, like a 180 roll.
So fun.
Theory crafting for this told me to put this on.
I gotta get 160 speed.
If you want it, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm doing a Zila cosplay right now. And just in case you kind of dissociated during all that yapping, me too. Here's a build summary. Focus on speed and crit damage, with some emphasis on effect res, so that way she doesn't get topped by Kafka.
Yeah, you already said that. How is Sparkle not good with Kafka? If I go Kritka. Like, she's probably still good now.
A lot of you guys probably pulled for Sparkle because she's absolutely busted. But I'm sure a ton of you guys just pulled for her because of her story appearance, or maybe her Twin Tails. If you pulled her for Twin Tails, then you're the most valid of the 3. Luckily for you, though, she's actually very free-to-play friendly. Chaotic Evil Hu Tao can use a ton of different light cones, ranging from medium to premium, just like her. Obviously, they're gonna make her signature the best for her. It gives a ton of crit damage, and it also gives allies crit rate and crit damage buffs. The next best thing, though, is either Bronya's signature light cone or past and future.
Okay, stop, bro. Okay? You will not get me to strip my Bronya naked. You will not get me to do that. I will not be stripping my Bronya at all. Bronya will keep all of her stuff. Okay? Bronya will keep all of her stuff because she deserves it, and we'll use them together, not separate.
Under the assumption that it works most of the time.
It'll be fine.
Icon, you can even get an extra skill point back 1 to 2 times per battle. Planetary Rendezvous is an amazing light cone in mono quantum teams, and I even recommend it above everything else but her signature for that team specifically. But even in just a quantum DPS setup, it's pretty solid. Snap the neck, weave the clouds.
What the?
Fantastic options. And lastly, the Dreamville Adventures light cone is your second free-to-play option, which is the worst of the 2. I would definitely craft past and future over that one. Funny enough, meshing cogs, which is usually one of the top choices for every harmony, is basically useless here, since you're trying to only ever use her skill. I'd recommend past and future if you don't have any premium options, just because it is craftable. There's not really damage rankings for these, since it depends on the team, but here's what I recommend.
I ain't gonna read that. Yeah, I read 0% of that. And I won't read any of it, because I just don't care.
Sparkle is insanely valuable and a huge addition to the HSR roster. Many units can be replaced with Sparkle as a strict upgrade, and that's not an exaggeration at all. She is incredibly powerful. So what does she bring to the table?
Dude, you know what would make me lose my mind? If Adventuring was actually good, because I just, like, don't want to see him used. If, like, dude, I rarely ever dislike a character that much. But, like, I despise Adventuring so much. I just, like, he is that good. Oh, my God. Dude, you know what's crazy? I don't care. Why don't I not like him? Because he's a horrible character. He's a boring, creepy, shitty-looking character. He's terrible. You will play him? No, I won't. You'll pull him? No, I won't. Dude, you know what's crazy? I might even skip Acheron. Just for fun. I might even skip Acheron for fun. Yeah, you see that? Because I see all these saying you need E2 and Light Cone to make Acheron work. There's no way. There's literally, if she's not good at E0 with a free-to-play light code, I don't care.
Races. The first team that I want to talk about with Sparkle is going to be the premier Mono Quantum team. Finally, guys, we have achieved 100% of Zila's latent potential. Although Sparkle doesn't really fit in with the color scheme here, so that is a little awkward. Anyways, of course, this team is going to be pretty good. You have Zila, who is going to be one of the best quantum DPS. Silverwolf for the single target quantum application and a ton of debuffs on the enemy. Sparkle to buff your Zila and give you unlimited skill points, so that way you can use Silverwolf and Zila together. And
Dude, if we get Sparkle on our account, it will be our first for fun pull, because we really don't need her. We really don't. But what it will do is it'll let me have more varied kills for the things that I do. Because then I can use my Zila again. And thank God, I'll be able to build my Zila. I'll be able to have Sparkle with her. Maybe I'll get a Silver Wolf. Maybe I'll get a Silver Wolf. And I'll just play JP so I don't have to hear time for a bug 1,000 times.
Who's going to help you mitigate a bunch of damage, give a bunch of crit rate to everyone. And overall, this team actually functions incredibly well. Now, one other thing you can do is you can actually go and pick her. However you say her name. This is one of the only teams that has a bunch of RNG in it that you can literally just mitigate by playing 4 quantum characters. By playing Sparkle in this team, you're actually getting a ton of extra skill points, which this gambling gremlin girl can actually use to maximize her damage. On top of that, like I said, the extra skill points help with Silverwolf a lot, because whenever you run into an enemy that you have to apply quantum to, she can do that with the use of one skill, so you're not gonna have to deal with the RNG of multiple different elements. So yeah, Mono Quantum is finally here. It's a pretty solid team. I'm not gonna call it the best team, but it definitely is a very easy one to get through most of the game with.
Then what's the best team?
That everyone has been asking me about over at twitch.tv/Braxphone. Make sure to go follow if you
I love that channel.
Hawkeye Star Rail content on live is Dan Heng, because he obviously eats a shit ton of skill points. Well, Sparkle does make
I will never pull a Dan Heng ill. I will never pull a Dan Heng ill.
His job a little bit easier. He can dish out a lot more enhanced basic attacks due to her giving extra skill points on occasion. We've already figured out ways to circumvent his skill point needs because we already have teams where we run our supports very fast. For example,
No, I'm telling you, Fushuan, Bronya, Sparkle, Jingliu is gonna be insane. It literally has to be insane. There's no way that's not insane.
Are only going to benefit Dan Heng. And now that we have someone else to add more skill points, he has become essentially the Black Flash more powerful. I highly recommend pairing Sparkle with Tingyun in general, because Sparkle doesn't have a ton of attack buffs unless you're playing Mono Quantum. And while there are a lot of characters that are oversaturated with attack, normally in some places where you would run Bronya, you can now run Sparkle, who doesn't actually give as much attack as Bronya does. So Tingyun can compensate for that and also be another SP positive force. And the next team I want to show you guys is probably my favorite gimmick team of
Please no Silverwolf. Please no Dan Heng ill. Please no Jing Yuan.
All time, actually. It's really funny. This is called Unlimited Blade Works.
Oh, I don't have him!
Kidding. I am the bone of my soul. Why is it called Unlimited Blade Works? Because you have 2 people constantly forcing Blade forward. Or Blade is going to be overworked to death by the time we're done with him, but maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
He can't die.
Basically what you do is you build a slug.
If he knew the lore, he would know that Blade wouldn't die. Also, bro, I want to play it so bad. He's so cool, man. There's still not a single dude cooler than Blade. He's so sick.
Blade with lots of HP, decent crit stats, and you get ready to go pound some enemies. What you're going to want to do is speed tune Sparkle and Bronya close together. And realistically, if you want to speed tune these 2 together to make this strat work, you want to have one character at 156, Bronya being the lower one, and then Hanabi 1 or 2 speed faster. And effectively, what you're going to be able to do is exactly what's shown in this clip, where Blade's going to attack. Then you're going to rotate between Sparkle and Bronya in order to bring Blade back to the front of the queue to attack again and again and again and again. It's really funny, and it's kind of insane how well it works. Like, I genuinely have had so much fun with this, and I can't wait to see what we can do with more characters. The other reason this works is because Blade is a pretty SP, not super negative character. So even though these 2 are going to be eating a lot of your skill points, as long as you have another support that barely ever uses them, just like Lolcha, who spam basic attack, and you have Sparkle as well, who's able to generate all that extra SP, you'll be fine. I've also found a little bit of success with Jingliu in place.
What do you mean a little bit, bro? Oh, shut the up, Brax. There's no way it's just a little bit, bro. What the do you mean a little bit? Okay, then I'll find the rest. How is there only a little bit? There's no way.
Blade, but it's a little bit less consistent. The best luck I've had with this is using multiplication on Lolcha to bring his action forward consistently and get him more attacks overall, which will lead to him getting more skill points. And lastly, I just wanted to show you some of the DPS that she really excels with. Obviously, I already talked about this person on the left, and I actually just talked about Jingli too, which was not in the original plans. So I kind of went off script for that one. But I do want to talk about Jingyuan. And one thing about Sparkle and Jingyuan is that it actually works a little bit differently from Bronya and Jingyuan. People say not to use Bronya with Jingyuan because if you use Bronya, you're not going to actually be able to get her buff on your Lightning Lord. But with Sparkle, she has a trace that helps you fix exactly that. Her trace makes it so that her skill crit damage bonus that she gives lasts until the start of the target's next turn, as opposed to going away.
Why does little bro have 44 million credits? What the Brax? How is that even possible?
At the end of their turn. This means that for Jingyuan and any character that
Oh, is he a whale? Does Brax spend money?
has some sort of follow-up mechanic where they would lose their buff with Bronya will not actually lose it unless they move again before the mechanic actually happens. The Lightning Lord can receive the buffs from Sparkle. This makes Sparkle and Jingyuan a really solid combo. And if you're not playing Pure Fiction where you're just
probably the creator server.
Yes, Sparkle and Jingyuan can really excel. The only places I would be hesitant to play Sparkle in would be dot teams. Dot teams have been shown to be better with there's multiple DPS or running a character that can buff multiple DPS at the same time, like Asta or Ruan Mei. Sparkle and Tingyun and Sparkle and Pela are some of my favorite combos, and on occasion, if you get really lucky and there's a skill point positive or just not very negative DPS, you'll be able to use Sparkle and Bronya together with them, and that'll be fantastic. Overall, I'm super happy with how this character works in a bunch of different teams.
That's what I'll
flexible
do.
And one of the best characters they have ever released. This weird merger of Hu Tao and Yoimiya on the chaotic evil side of things really is going to be a game changer, especially if you were someone that never had Bronya to begin with and never got lucky enough to actually get her.
I got her 3 times.
Anyways, let me tell you why you shouldn't spend money.
Good. Good. Do not pull for Eidolons. Do not pull for Eidolons. You do not need them. You do not need them. Okay? They're not worth it. It's $300 max to get a slight upgrade. You don't need it. Her E2's cracked? Yeah, here's the great thing, bro. You don't need something that's cracked in this game. You don't.
Because Acheron is coming out pretty soon, you probably don't plan on pulling for Sparkle Eidolons. And that's okay, me too. But I'm contractually obligated to go over them, so here they are. Sparkle's E1 is an ultimate extension and an attack buff in her ultimate. Honestly, her ultimate extension is only useful in a couple of scenarios, just due to that snapshot thing I mentioned earlier in the video. Unless they change that in a future
You
patch,
literally
like
do
they
just,
did
you
with
don't
Lolcha.
need it.
The attack buff is really strong
At
though,
all.
and it gives her even more utility to share with your team. E2, however, is insanely strong because it's going to essentially give you 24% defense ignore all of the time, as long as you maintain stacks.
Yeah, but you also don't need it.
Basically, if you are breathing, 24% defense ignore.
Yeah, but you don't need it.
Swipe a little bit, that is the lucky dolphin stopping point. E3 is a skill and basic level up, and E4 makes Sparkle gain an extra skill point on her ultimate.
Yeah, but you
and
don't need that
increases
either.
the skill point cap. Essentially, this makes Sparkle plus 2 SP over 3 turns
Nah, you
instead of
don't need
plus 1, and takes away almost all of the
It's
need
useless.
for
You don't
SP
need it. Pass.
management, with the exception
thanks.
of a certain goblin. E5 is an ult and talent level up, and E6 is
terrible.
a massive increase to the amount of
Yeah,
crit
but it's
damage
terrible.
buff that Sparkle gives her
Let me
skill.
just
Her
okay.
skill
Okay.
also
Getting an E6 unit can cost you up to $2,100. You do not need it. You literally do not need it.
also shares crit damage with the whole team
So
now,
do not
as
pull
long
for
as
it.
her ult effect is up. Which
You
because
don't need
of
it.
E1 will
You've
be
never needed it.
100%
You
uptime.
don't want
that
it.
crit damage buff is absurd and makes her a lot stronger for double DPS comps at the low price of a kidney. Really
Exactly. Like, bro.
stronger for double DPS comps at the low
Like, literally, why the would you want that? Okay? Do not spend your money on this game.
price of a kidney.
Okay, remember, you can spend a little bit. I know it's fun, but don't put yourself into financial turmoil to get a slight upgrade to a unit, okay? Just save your shit. There's tons of free gems. There's rerun banners. Do not yourself.
Realistically, Sparkle's Eidolons can usually do more for your DPS than their own Eidolons will. And if you're only going for 1 extra Sparkle or her Light Cone, technically speaking, on paper, E1 is going to be a better game. Specifically if you have good relics already. However, I wouldn't pull for Sparkle Eidolons, especially if you're like me and in horrendous amounts of debt. But if you do want to go above and beyond for the Twin Tails, I recommend going with her Light Cone because it gives a ton of crit value to your team with basically 100% uptime. And those crit buffs are going to massively compensate for your absolute dog shit relics.
Okay, first of all, you Brax, my relics are fine. Hey, great video, as always. We're pulling for her, boys. We are going to pull for her right now. And we're going to do a giveaway on my twitch.tv/TechDome right now. We're going to do this shit right now. Yo, bro, oh, sorry. Like, comment, and subscribe to Brax's Phone. Thanks for watching.
Resident Evil 4 was one of the most accomplished remakes of 2023, a modernized, bold reinterpretation of Capcom's 2005 action horror classic. It looked great too, across current-gen platforms as well as PS4, with intricate lighting detail and excellent art design. There were some configuration hangups on consoles, but for the most part it was an attractive title. As the year closes out, Capcom has delivered RE4's first mobile port. As a part of Apple's recent AAA gaming push, Resident Evil 4 is now available on iPhone 15 Pro and M1 and M2 based iPads. So is the game hung up on performance and configuration issues, like Resident Evil Village? Or is RE4 a capable conversion of the console code? Resident Evil 4 was for the most part a current-gen console and PC experience, but Capcom also shipped the game on PS4 console systems. The visuals were mostly preserved on Sony's 8th gen machines, but there were some notable cutbacks. Most notably, texture resolution took a big hit, and texture streaming could be pretty slow. There were a range of lighting cutbacks as well, including a reduction in the number of shadow casting light sources, and absent screen space reflections. Those cutbacks need to be kept in mind because the PS4 code proves the closest match of the console versions for the results we see on the iPhone. Unlike Resident Evil Village on iPhone, RE4 doesn't have a PC-style settings menu, so we're effectively getting one basic visual experience on the platform, with some options to adjust lens distortion, depth of field, and motion blur, like we saw on all console versions of the game. For these comparisons, I've opted to keep lens distortion off and the other visual modifiers on. The first thing that should stand out here is that the iPhone version has a very obvious blue tint for some reason. It's also much darker than the PS4 version with the default brightness, so I've pushed brightness to roughly the same level as the PS4 through the options menu for these comparisons. I'd recommend anyone else playing the game in SDR do the same. Texture art does look pretty similar for the most part between the two versions. If you look closely though, the iPhone code does feature some noticeably lower res texture art through a lot of the game's environments. These aren't huge differences, but the world just looks a bit blurrier and less well defined in general. Curiously, we see a lot of the same issues with texture loading that we saw in PS4, despite the iPhone's much faster storage. When we approach the rock face here, it takes almost exactly the same amount of time to load in the higher res asset on both platforms. Looking through the environment, we do see some reductions in level of detail settings between the PS4 and iOS versions. This is most noticeable on smaller incidental objects like these sand eggs, which have a noticeably squared off appearance on the iPhone. There are also some very obvious reductions in foliage density, which is quite clear on the ground here. Tree lines look pretty similar, but patches of grass and bushes are less thick on the iPhone than PS4. A lot of the lighting is pretty similar across the two games. Primarily, this is related to how the lighting in RE4 works in general, as it features a lot of baked lighting that translates about the same across the two platforms. The PS4 specific concessions return here too, like how this light source doesn't cast a shadow behind Leon. Screen space reflections are also absent, although as those familiar with the RE Engine SSR can attest, this is probably a good thing for the game's visuals overall. On the plus side, volumetrics do return here, though resolution has taken a small hit relative to the PS4. If we look at the shadows for a moment, the actual shadow resolution in most scenes isn't particularly impressive, though a quick glance at the PS4 code reveals very similar shadow resolution on that platform. The primary issue here, I think, is the dither pattern that's used to give an impression of shadow softness. On PS4 it looks acceptably fine-grained, but on iPhone it looks very coarse and unconvincing. I think this may be related to the very low internal resolution of the iPhone version, which we'll touch on in a few moments. Post-processing also takes a hit. Looking through some of the more action-packed cutscene sequences, the motion blur looks rough and sort of undersampled at times, though I think again that this may be related to the lower internal resolution on iPhone. Depth of field isn't as obvious and can exhibit some nasty artifacts around character edges. These effects don't really carry the same cinematic flair that we see on the PS4, though I think on the smaller iPhone screen they mostly look okay. So in terms of general visual settings, the iPhone code measures up just fine relative to PS4. It's not offering the exact same visual experience as we'd see on console, but you are getting similar enough underlying settings that it still looks very much like Resident Evil 4. This is far better than what you'd expect from a Switch port of this game, for instance. Image quality is probably the biggest sore spot though. The PS4 code, for its part, looks pretty good, with a 900p image combined with TAA for a fairly smooth and detailed final resolve. By last-gen standards, image quality is perfectly reasonable on that platform. The iPhone just doesn't hold up well by comparison. The game tends to have a lot of these sort of salt and pepper disocclusion artifacts all over the screen at times. Almost any time there's substantial movement in the frame, these issues will be noticeable, especially around Leon's hair and in foliage elements. These problems seem to be caused by a very low internal resolution combined with Apple's Metal FX temporal upscaler. I counted a resolution of roughly 300p across several shots, which I suspect is being upscaled to something in the region of 720p using Metal FX's machine learning based temporal upscaler. If we go back to Resident Evil Village on iPhone, we can observe a lot of the same kinds of image breakup when we move back and forth here with that Metal FX upscaler enabled. It's just less obvious in Village because of the first-person camera and because there's less foliage in Village. To be fair, in still shots, the game's image coheres surprisingly well for a game that operates at these kinds of internal resolutions. Interior areas fare best, without much pesky alpha to mess up the Metal FX resolve. Considering the performance savings and the smaller iPhone screen used to navigate the game, I don't really think this is that bad of a solution, though it would have been better to combine Metal FX with higher resolutions to get a truly stable and consistently good looking final result. Upsampling solutions just don't tend to work well when they have to work with so few pixels. So how does performance fare in Resident Evil 4 on iPhone? Technically speaking, we're mostly looking at a 30 FPS update here. Throughout typical combat and exploration, the game does hit 30 FPS generally speaking, but there are some pretty big issues. Firstly, frame pacing is incorrect, like in a lot of 30 FPS iOS games. It's not horrible here. Resident Evil 4 fluctuates between 33 and 16 milliseconds every so often, with a steady beat of 33 millisecond frames in between. It's annoying but not a deal breaker, but there are some occasional very heavy frame rate drops that seem to come out of nowhere, where the game becomes a bit of a slideshow for a few seconds. These aren't terribly frequent, occurring maybe once every 5 or 10 minutes, but they do bring you out of the experience. I also noticed a couple of lengthy stutters during my gameplay, and there are some more conventional performance problems as well, as the game struggles to maintain its 30 FPS target in some moments. The frame times aren't wildly out of bounds here, so the game is just on the edge of maintaining 30 FPS and just can't quite get there. Resident Evil 4 isn't a great performer by any means, but it does fare quite a bit better than Resident Evil Village on iPhone. That title suffered from prolonged frame rate dives during typical gameplay, even when running on the lowest settings, and these problems haven't been addressed at all in subsequent patches, as the footage you're seeing here is from the most recent update. For reference, the PS4 release ran Resident Evil 4 with an unlocked framerate that ran from 30 to 60 FPS in typical play. It wasn't ideal, but it does feel smoother than the iPhone code here, and its frame times tend to be more under control than the iPhone. PS4 did use reduced rate animation on enemy characters when facing large groups of foes, however, a concession that the iPhone doesn't employ. Loading times are another win for Apple's smartphone. A load that takes roughly 40 seconds on PS4 completes in just 7 seconds or so on iPhone, a gain probably attributable to the iPhone's advanced CPU and fast flash storage. On mobile platforms, every second counts, and the iPhone generally fares quite well when loading saves in RE4. The controls are a bit of a mixed bag. On the plus side, the game supports both Xbox Series and PS5 pads without issue, and there's even a toggle to swap button layouts between the PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo styles. Rumble works fine, and all the buttons function normally. Input lag is an issue though. I measured about 200 milliseconds input lag here when connected to this Bluetooth sliding controller, and the game has a pretty heavy feel in general. It's not unplayable, but it never really feels responsive. I'd recommend against trying to play this game without a gamepad though, because the touch controls are very bare bones. The game just presents every single button on the screen at all times, which makes it pretty tough to control. The best adapted iPhone games use context-sensitive controls, like the GTA Definitive Editions, with buttons only popping up as needed, or serving a combined purpose depending on the situation. Simply overlaying a modern gamepad layout across the majority of the screen is not a particularly effective solution. Resident Evil 4 on iPhone is definitely an improvement over RE Village. We don't have to fiddle around with complex and crash-inducing visual settings, and the game actually runs sort of okay, with a somewhat unsteady but reasonably performant 30 FPS update. This is a better configured game than Village, and Village's unique performance gremlins don't seem present here, but I think expectations for Apple's AAA gaming push are a bit higher. Outside of the 3 games I've reviewed recently on iPhone, RE Village, the GTA Definitive Editions, and of course RE4, there's not too much like this game on iOS. Visually speaking, the closest other title I've played might be Wreckfest, a last-gen racer that can hit 60 FPS on iPhone 15 Pro, or Genshin Impact. But accepting those games, the most sophisticated iPhone software is roughly at a 360 or PS3 level of basic visual fidelity or below, so it's hard to judge exactly what we should expect from a title like RE4 that essentially amounts to a full-fledged PS4 port. I'm inclined to think that a closer 30 FPS lock should be at least achievable in these kinds of games, while maintaining decent image quality and settings. Upcoming Apple Silicon titles, most notably Death Stranding and Assassin's Creed Mirage, will put this to the test, and I hope we will see a truly polished last-gen iOS port in 2024, but so far the results have been more mixed, with better results on the visual front than in performance. Resident Evil 4 is at least good enough that I think it makes for a reasonable mobile experience, as long as you keep hopes in check. You'll have to tolerate substantial performance issues and a sometimes messy image, but this is still Resident Evil 4 on the go, and it looks decent and doesn't crash. It just lacks the performance and visual consistency that a lot of players will expect. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and press the bell for YouTube notifications. Check out the Patreon at digitalfoundry.net for exclusive and early access content. And to get in touch, use social media. Thanks for watching.
So Jeff Keighley is getting canceled. There are a lot of people who are mad. So Jeff Keighley is the, he's the Games Expo guy. He's getting canceled by Twitter. And the reason why he's getting canceled is because he didn't make a tweet about how bad the game layoffs were. That's right, because he didn't like or make a tweet about the game layoffs. And instead, he made a tweet about something else for another reason. So, woke up still annoyed. This dude went to bed mad at Jeff Keighley. He woke up, he's still mad at Jeff Keighley. He's still, bro, like, he went to bed with this dude in his head. Like, guys, by the way, there's some people, why did you like the tweet?
모든 게 어제 본 것 같군.
지능기계가 터뜨려주는 건
포인트가 부족하네.
이번엔 꼭 말겠어.
놀이시설을 함부로 두드리지 말아주세요.
난 한 거면 하는 사람이라고. 돈보다 중요한 건 시간이야, 친구. 잠깐. 아, 배부르다.
우누문 물을 다스리. 우누문 물을 다스리.
I hate days like these and I love days like these. Here's the deal, boys. I really want to Sparkle. Here's the other issue, boys. I really want to Acheron. I will be doing 1 5-star pull and 1 5-star pull alone. Because if I miss the 50-50, I'm not getting Sparkle. Because I need to get Acheron. I'm skipping Adventurine because he's lame as shit. I don't know who the is coming in 2.2. Who would be coming in 2.2? Are we skipping 2.2? Adventurine's gonna be an easy skip. Oh, don't say Sam. Don't say Sam and Robin. Don't say that. Okay? Because I need both of them. Bro, why does this patch have to be so good, bro? What the? We need to win 50-50s. How much pity do I have built up? We have... Oh, 8? Oh. Okay. Okay. I'm just so stressed. Oh, and I even have my 5-star to be pulled at any time, but I don't know who to pick because I'm stressed out, bro. I just have too much shit to do, and I'm just grinding nonstop. I just want racist Hu Tao. That's all I want, bro. And I feel like the team I'll have for her is pretty good, right? It'll be pretty good. Jingliu, Bronya, Fushuan, Sparkle, and then I just kill him a million times. Hold on, okay, before I pull for her, is she really that good? Let's just go test it out. Do I really need her? Okay. Dude, her outfit is so cute, bro. It's actually so fun. The mask is so sick too, bro. I wasn't crazy about the kick, but now I like it a lot. Bro, that's so cute. What the? Oh my God, that's so adorable. What does that do? Oh, let's go. Let's say. Okay, that's adorable. That is so cute. Holy shit. All right, what does she do? All right, so she quantum damage single enemy, increasing allies' crit damage and advances forward their action. Insane. It's gonna be insane on my Kritka. Recovers skill points for the team and enables damage boost provided by Sparkle's talent to be additionally enhanced. Okay. Increase the team's max skill points. Whenever an ally consumes skill points, enables all allies to deal more damage. Okay. Using the technique grants all allies misdirect. Characters with misdirect will not be detected by enemies, and entering battle while in misdirect recovers skill point for allies. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Who the? Okay, I guess I'm chick chat. No reaction. Okay. And then how do I use this bitch? Just like boom. Bro, that is so broken. Should I build this bitch too? I mean, bro. Let's say slap it. 1 billion damage. I don't need to do anything. She's so cute. Oh my God, this character is adorable. She is so cute, bro. When did racism become this kawaii? I need this character. I need this character bad, bro. Bad. Bad. Kill him. Oh my God. Bro. She removed skill points from the game. Skill points no longer exist. She just got it again for fun? She just got it again for fun. Bitch. She just got it again for fun? Do it. Bro. What the? Okay, I need her. Oh, I feel so sick. Oh, I actually feel unwell, bro. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna vomit if I don't get her. Metaslave, it's literally, bro, Sparkle's gonna benefit my account almost zero. I'm pulling her because I think she's a really cool character. And her voice lines are adorable. Papa's got business to take care of, buddy. Okay? I gotta do it. I gotta do what I gotta do now, bud. Surely I win, right? There's like no way I don't win, right? Honestly? Like, honestly, there's like no way, right? There's literally no way I don't win, right? Oh. Okay, let's go. Let's get it. Here we go. Here we go. Daddy gets what daddy wants. Only lost 2 50-50s. I will not lose another one. Let's get this shit going, boys. Let's bring Sparkle home. First 10 pulls. Son of a bitch. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. No problem. Okay, we're 18 pulls in. Skip. Landau's Choice. That's a good one, right? I think this is a good one. I think somebody on my account uses that. I don't know who. So yeah, that's probably fine. Plus, I feel like we have a lot of gems we can still collect. I haven't even touched Golden Gears, and I haven't even beaten the harder simulated universe. So we'll probably get more points too. Bro, can we just get an early one? Can we just get an early one? Can we just get an early one? Because dude, if I don't get her early, we're okay. We're at 28. This is fine. This is fine. We're gonna be okay. We're fine. Right? Good. Ching Chua, we need her. Good. We needed her. We need to max her. How many more do we need? I think I have her at E3. I think that makes E4, right? That makes E4? That makes E6! Oh, shit, dude! Okay. Yeah, maybe we build her too. For fun. Build her for fun. 38. 38. That's all right. That's all right. That's no big deal. Don't matter. Okay? Let me just get Hanya. You know what I'm saying? Let me get Hanya. Okay, Sampo, we still need his Eidolons. Am I ever going to use him? Probably not. But eventually maybe. Eventually maybe we'll need him. Eventually. Okay. That's okay. How much do we have of Sampo? Sampo, we got what? We got E5. Okay. Why do people not like Sampo? I don't get that shit. Okay, it's fine. All right, here we go. Was that 38 or was that 48? I think this is 48 now. 48. Brother man! Skip! E6 Sampo. Okay. Wait, should I pop my ult earlier than that? You know what? Let's just pop our ult. I want to make sure I go all out. There's only one way we ever get characters whenever we need them. This is for, because I know M-Tash is watching. This is for my sexual stallion. Oh, here we go. Let's lock this bitch in. Come on, baby. Come on. 58. Come on. 2. That's 2. And a Memories of the Past, which is really bad. That's 2. Come on. 68. This is it. That's all right. We needed a Gwydion. That's fine. Last pull. Sparkle. Well, come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Never lose. Never lose. Never will lose. Never lost. Never will lose. Sparkle. Fuck. Okay. Come on. Come on. There's no way I lose, right? Come on. Come on. I hate this. Bro, please, 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 please. Please, please don't do this to me. Please, 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 Sparkle, just show up. I know it would be so funny if you didn't, but it would be so nice if you did. Please, bro. Please don't do this. Please, 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 please just show up. Please, please. Please, 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 please. Please, please, please. Hey, M-Tash viewers, you dumb! If you don't like me stalling, then stop watching the stream, you pussy! Here we go. Please, 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 please. Okay, 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 okay. We win this. We win this. Please, 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 please. That's 3. That's 3. That's 3. That's 3. Okay, please, 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 please. Please, 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 4, 4, 4, please, 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 please. Oh! Okay, 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 okay. Okay, 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 okay. Please, 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 please. Okay, okay, okay. Please, please. Please, please. I'm gonna Lose my mind. Oh my god, my head hurts so bad. Please, 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 please. Please! Please! God! Please. Please, God. Please, God. Please, God. Please, God. Just give me Sparkle, please, for the love of God. Give me Sparkle. I can't, bro. I'm gonna lose my mind. Please, 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 please. Please, just show me. Please, 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 Sparkle, please. Please, Sparkle, please. Please, Sparkle. Nah, I'm gonna get her regardless. Nah, no, I just get her. We still have 24,495 gems. We can just get both because we don't need it. We don't need Adventurine. We don't need them. We'll just get both. Not free to play? Yeah, I will. We have 35 polls right here. How hard can it be? We'll just get her early. We'll literally just get her early. You need Acheron Light Cone? If you need a Light Cone to make a character viable, then I don't need him. I'll just get her. I'll do 40 pulls. It'll be fine. Don't do it. You. I want her. Who cares? Who cares? I want the character, so I'm gonna just get it. I'll just get her. Why would I not get her? No, why would I not get her? Literally, why would I not get her? Why would I not? I want her. Why would I just not get her? I don't get it. Why would I just not get her? You said you'd stop? Oh, okay, bitch, I lied. I would like the character. Free to play arc over? No, I'm free to play. Who cares? Hey, I haven't spent a time. You know what sounds way more fun? When a new character comes out, I just get them. And then when people go free to play plus, I say, you're goddamn right. Hey, I've already proven myself. I've already beaten all the content there is in the game. Who cares? I feel like after the fiasco that one free to play streamer became so mentally obsessed and mentally ill with themselves where they thought they should deserve praise over being free to play in a gacha game, I say we just say, yeah, we just get who we want. The thing is, everybody already lies and says I haven't been free to play anyway, so what's the point? Legitimately, what is the point? Who am I fighting? These people are already convinced that I'm not free to play when I've been free to play for over a year. So why even bother? Who am I doing this for? Literally, who am I doing this for? Who am I doing this for? Genuinely. I mean, yourself? No, you know what I'll do for myself? I'll work out in the gym. Yeah, bro, I don't give a straight up. I'm gonna just get the goddamn character that I want, and you know what I'll do for myself? I'll work out. Because at the end of the day, I've still spent $0. I don't give, and you know what's crazy? I'll do it even if I want to. You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do? Hey, you know what I'll do? I'll work out. I'll play Sekiro. I don't give a... Dude. And then let them talk their shit, because I don't care. Because the thing is, and let's just be real, I've done free-to-play better than any other free-to-play. M-Tash was great. M-Tash and I were top 1 and top 2. Let's just be real, okay? We made free-to-play not cringe, and that was dope. So you know what, boys? Maybe we'll get her early. We'll get, you know what? Let's go to hard pity. Let's do it. This feels good. This feels right. 3 4 stars. And we'll get her early. And you know what? Just so they can't take the title from us yet. Hey boys, come. We got 40 pulls right there. We still have not spent any of the currency put on our game. We're still free to play. And you know what we'll do? We'll just get lucky and get Acheron early. Because guess what, boys? We got Sparkle. And we're still free to play. And we're still free to play. Hey, Sparkle. Hey, Sparkle. Welcome home. Ooh, yes, sir. And she ain't even good on my account. I just wanted her ass. That's it. I literally just wanted her. And you know what? I'm gonna get who I want. And you know what's crazy? We're still free to play. We got a Welt, we got a Sparkle, and we gonna take good care of them. Hey, racist Hu Tao, welcome home. I'm not gonna let any of these mother dictate how I play. I'm gonna play the way that I want to play. And you know what's crazy? We're still free to play. And you know what's great? People will still say that we're not. We still have spent 0% of the paid gems in our account. That's what's insane. GG, boys. We'll just get Acheron in 110 pull. Oh, she's so cute. Hey, boys. 2.1. Acheron. If we got unlucky, I'm done being free to play. I don't care. I'll be a light spender. Who cares? Let's play the game for fun. And let's do what we want. Call this weird ass shit for egos that people do on the internet. I'm good, boys. We won. Catch y'all on the next one. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, boys, we're doing a giveaway. So if you'd like to join us at twitch.tv/TechDome. See y'all later.
장룡의 정화.
일심동기 상하가 밥그리
웃어라.
말로 좀
내가 돕게 해줘.
차. 재반의 결과는 내가 짊어지지.
What if I told you that everyone's previous assumptions about Sparkle were wrong, including myself? From her being a better Bronya to her being more worthless than Hanya. Okay, that one was a lie, but Sparkle lies all the time, so I'm pretty sure it's okay. In today's video, I'll break down what makes Sparkle shine the brightest over other Harmony characters by going over her best free-to-play light cones, unique relic options, the team she squeezes in between, most importantly, how to take full advantage of action advanced quirk. Huh? What do you mean that's not my hero? I thought she was one of the villains.
There's only one bullet left. Wanna play a game? What's your wager?
Sparkle isn't a complicated support character by design, but there are a few things that everyone should definitely be paying attention to before announcing he easily replaces Bronya. For starters, each of her traces are impactful in their own right. Nocturne has a general use of increasing all allies' attacks by 15%, but adds an additional 5 to 30% attack increase for her quantum allies. This opens up some alternative gear options for a mono quantum team that other team comps won't actually have access to, but I'll talk about that later on in the video. Her next bonus ability extends the crit damage boost from her skill until the start of the target's next turn, making a key difference in how her skill works compared to Bronya. While Bronya's buff is instant, it goes away immediately after their turn ends unless using a trick like Zila's Resurgence. Sparkle's buff is 50% forward and lasts until their next turn, meaning anything that happens in between then and now will carry her massive crit damage buff all the way through. This makes team combinations like Jingyuin, Clara, and a slower Topaz ridiculously powerful. Her last bonus ability is Almanac, which seems kind of like whatever, but now gives her the added option to become SP positive in some specific situations, like once again putting Clara and Topaz on the same team. Next, we can look at her talent, Red Herring. Actually, Red Herring, is that from Game of Thrones? As long as she's alive on the field, your SP cap extends from 5 to 7. The entire team also gains a damage increase up to 18% after using a skill point 3 times. That's important to keep in mind for who you're placing on the team with Sparkle. Some characters naturally work best with her, like Zila, Imagine Dragon, QQ, and even Arlen. Everyone else just sort of falls under some different criteria that requires you to change the way you play out the attack ever so slightly. Then that's when her ultimate comes into play. These SP hungry characters are actually rewarded both in terms of damage output speed, as well as Sparkle recovering 4 boosted skill points for the next 2 turns. Not that she gives you 4 skill points for the next 2 turns, but the skill points that she gave you during her ultimate are, you guys get it. So that's 6% damage per stack I mentioned earlier. During ult, it turns into 16% per stack. I don't know about you, but that's kind of crack, especially when I tell you that she's permanently on a 3-turn ultimate cycle. The best part about this is the fact that using her ultimate during your DPS's turn will magically ensure a permanent uptime of both the ult and the buff. For whatever reason, similar to Luocha's abundance field, using it outside of her own turn doesn't consume the initial turn being counted. Why? I don't know, but it works. And even after all that, it's still her skill that you'll hear everyone talking about for the next few months. Dream Diver increases an ally's crit damage by 24% of her own stats, plus an additional 45%. Without getting super detailed on the math, your safest number is to shoot for 180% crit damage on Sparkle, since the returns get smaller the higher you go from here. The crit damage isn't the only glorified effect here. Sparkle basically uses combat redeployment on any given ally on top of that crit damage buff. The first problem is that her version of Bronya's skill only advances them forward by 50%. The not so big deal to that same problem, however, is the most critical part of her kit. If you want to get the best out of Sparkle's advanced forward, you need to speed tune your DPS and possibly the rest of the team, just so that they can match Sparkle's speed as desired. I know that sounds confusing when I say it, so let me just show you what I mean. All right, so 50% advanced forward has very little to do with this number up front. It's got everything to do with the character's actual action value, which you get from the formula 10,000 divided by their speed. Sparkle advances someone forward by 50% of that. So in this case, we'll use Jingyuin. If Jingyuin's speed is 99, then his AV equals 101. 50% of that is going to turn into 50.5, which is the number that Sparkle will continue decreasing their AV by until it reaches 0. So ideally in a turn 0 scenario, Jingyuin would start at 101. You would use Sparkle's advance forward. That would knock 101 down to 50.5. In the event Jingyuin was already 50% through his actual turn, then whatever that number is gets reduced by 50.5 no matter what. So if Jiggy Win is at 70 minus 50.5, that'll turn into 20 something. If he's at 50, then 50.5 subtracted from that, now he's at 0. Your goal is to have the character already halfway through their turn before Sparkle pulls them forward. That in turn activates a 100% guaranteed pulling forward, even though it's still 50%. If none of this makes any sense, then trust me, you're not alone. The general rule of thumb that all of us have come up with is that as long as Sparkle isn't 2 times the speed or more of your DPS, or I guess in this case slower, he's always going to whip them up forward by 100% anyway, regardless of the fact that the skill still says 50%. Because of that, you can basically throw your speed boots away and give them to somebody else. You want as close to their natural speed as you can get to make your Sparkle's action advance trick as true as possible. The other way to run Sparkle that you'll hear about is going to be the slow Sparkle, which is basically imitating 134 speed Bronya. I highly recommend you don't even waste your time doing this, especially if you already own Bronya. You lose out on the option to run attack boots for your DPS, you suck up more skill points without boosting forward 100%, and you lose the benefit of the 3-turn ult uptime. It's genuinely not worth it, which is why I keep telling you guys, Sparkle might be an amazing character, but she requires a lot of investment for you to get the most out of her.
There's only one bullet left. Wanna play a game? What's your wager?
As the light cone banner connoisseur, her signature light cone isn't mandatory, but makes your relic hunt ridiculously easier. With just her traces and this light cone, she's already giving 84% crit damage from that skill buff I mentioned earlier. The mask ability this light cone gives also increases the party's crit rate and damage for 3 turns, which then just resets itself after she uses her ult anyway. For a support character, this light cone is huge in making her do her job without thinking about it. After this, every other light cone comes down to what type of Sparkle you're building your team for. Past and Future adds a 32% damage increase at S5 just for using her skill, which is huge when you actually do the math behind it and consider the fact that this is a free-to-play light cone. Sparkle Cypher Boost gives you 48% and Past and Future gives you another 32%. That's a whole 80% Rod Made boost just for equipping the right light cone on a Sparkle. Battle and Over does the exact same thing, but adds 10% ERR and regenerates an extra skill point every other ultimate. This light cone combined with any of the Energy Planar Ornament sets almost allows a 3-turn ultimate without the rope. You are quite literally missing 1.5 points. Dance 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 is fantastic when you're shooting for those 0 cycles, but honestly, I'm still testing whether or not it's even worth using this light cone on her over adding a ridiculous amount of damage onto your allies instead. Damage wise, this loses out as an option, but in the event you combine this with a turn 1 Von Pack shenanigan set, then we can start asking some questions. From there, you look at her relics, which honestly, these don't even matter. Sparkle can be built in whatever way you want because you quite literally only care about her speed and crit damage as the first priority. Then bulk her up to heaven and beyond just so she doesn't die. Personally, I'd shoot for giving her any 2-piece combination of Messenger, Wuthering Snow, or Longevist. These 3 specifically because they're coming from domains you should be farming with a Sparkle team anyway. On the rare chance you do have some amazing pieces from the Twilight Eagle set, then that is technically her best in slot, at least viability wise. Planar ornaments are pretty varied too. Broken Kill for more crit damage, Penacony for the extra 10% damage for quantum units, Sprightly for a guaranteed 3 turns in the first cycle, so on and so forth. You can damn near build this character however you want as long as you achieve that desired 161 speed and 180% crit damage minimum.
There's only one bullet left. Wanna play a game? What's your wager?
As far as team building goes, Sparkle is once again a character that just slides right into a solid number of team comps with enough effort. I'm not going to say a little amount of effort because you definitely need to make sure your speed tuning is in check since everyone doesn't have the same base speed. You will run into some situations where a character is too fast. Regardless of Sparkle not being 2 times their speed, and because of the way action values work, they won't immediately advance forward, but instead land about 1 or 2 spots behind anyway. Sparkle, Imbiber de Lune, Ting Yun, and Fu Xuan. This was personally the best team I had the experience of playing with the full intent of exploding on everything. Sparkle boosts Daniel to an absurd degree of damage while 100% advancing him forward every single skill. Thanks to the abundance of SP she gives from the start of the game, he always has enough SP to max burst every attack. Ting Yun then tops him off with her energy and damage buffs, further increasing his damage while Fu Xuan ensures you're hitting 100% crit rate thanks to her matrix. I know I just put out a top 5 teams, but this is the way Daniel wants to be played, and for once, I can confidently say this is his best performance yet. even at E0. Next up is your standard Mono Quantum team, except you're replacing Ting Yun or Bronya with Sparkle. What's cool about Sparkle is she basically replaces both of these characters built into one due to the fact her advanced forward helps fill Zila's energy on her own and combines the buffs they give consistently. Not only does Silverwolf ensure the quantum weakness is applied whenever you want, but she also enables the trace Nocturne,